some of these schools have had Muslim people with Muslim names going into these organizations from an LGBT kind of Muslim organization background, and these people are going in and trying to convince Muslim kids that, look, homosexuality is not a problem. It's not a sin in the Quran. So you say, well, how can they try and reinterpret the story? Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, well, see, the punishment of the people of Lot, it wasn't for same-sex relations, it was because of male rape. It was male rape, but if it was have had it been between two males in a loving relationship, there would have been no condemnation. They also point to the fact that these people were not only into male rape, but they were also into highway robbery and other immoral acts. So they were punished for all of these things. Okay, so let's go into that a little bit. So what they do is they use the verse in Surah Ankabut, which is chapter number 29, verse number 29. Do you indeed come on to men and cut off the road and practice evil deeds in your assembly? So they say, like, male rape, highway robbery, and all these evil practices, that's why they got punished. However, of the 6 passages that make mention of male to male sexual acts, this is the only verse where it adds in cutting off the road, which is highway robbery, and the practicing evil deeds. All the other 5 passages which talk about this in detail speak only about male-to-male sexual acts, to the exclusion of all other wrongdoing. So this reinforces the fact that it was homosexual intercourse between men that was their overall main crime. That was their main sin, even though they did other wrong things. But this is what this was their main hallmark of their crime, and this is what they got primarily punished for. As for trying to argue that it was only male rape, and if it's not male rape, then it's fine, we have to ask them, well, how do you explain the other verses? Because the other verses are very clear. So let's look at Surah Al-A'raf. This is chapter number 7, verse number 81. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّكُمْ لَتَأْتُونَ الرِّجَالَ شَهْوَةً مِّن دُونِ النِّسَاءِ. Indeed, you lust after men instead of women. So you can't just say it's male rape, because it says you preferred men over women. بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ. You are transgressors. Again, this is reiterated in Surah Shu'ara. This is Surah number 26, verse number 165, 166, which says, of all creatures, do you come on to males and abandon the wives that God has created for you? You're exceeding all bounds. The same idea that you're preferring males over females, right? So the crime here is you're going towards homosexuality and not heterosexuality. Then, the story, what happens is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down angels in the form of human beings. When they come to him as guests, the people find out in the town, it says in Surah Hud, chapter number 11, verse number 79, his people came rushing towards him. They used to commit foul deeds. And so basically, they surround the house and they want these men so they can have sexual relations with them. Lot says to them, my people, here are my daughters. They are more pure or wholesome for you. Right? So have some fear of God and do not disgrace me with my guests. Is there not a single right-minded man among you? Alaysa fikum rajulun rashid. Now, let's just, if you're saying that it's male rape, okay, how do you understand this then? Because when he says, look, don't do that, don't take these males, take my daughter. And the thing is, daughters can mean, some scholars say this means the women folk. So don't go towards the males, prefer the females, marry them. That's much better for you. That's much more pure and wholesome for you. So if you're saying it's male rape, are you trying to say, what he said was, look, don't rape my guests. I tell you what, rape the women instead. Does that make any sense? Would a prophet see that as a solution? Don't rape the men, rape the women instead. Also, it's very clear that they had no interest in women. Their interest was in males, because the verse goes on in verse number 80 to say, they said, You know well that we have no claim on your daughters. Indeed, you know what we want. In other words, we're not interested in females. We're not interested in females. We're only interested in males. So again, because these verses are so clear, there's no, you will not find a single scholar, right, a single qualified scholar who is going to say that homosexuality is permissible. You speak to scholars from different countries and different localities, different backgrounds, they will all tell you that homosexual intercourse is completely forbidden in the Quran, and it's crystal clear.